Simon,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm in 2 minds, 3 minds, 4 minds as to how this is going to work out. Because when you see the headline in the back of the Times this morning, Carrick, my style will be like Solskjaer's. And
Exactly.
then further into it, I've worked closely with Ole for a long time, and we have very similar beliefs.
Exactly, and that was the point I was going to make. I wrote it down. Their management style was cooperative. Although I was listening to various talking heads suggesting that there's going to be a different impression upon the Man United players. There's going to be a different style of play. There's not going to be a different style of play. I would imagine the way that Solskjaer has managed or abdicated responsibility at times, it's been done by cooperative. I made an observation, people didn't like it. He was actually consulting players on the pitch 2 or 3 weeks ago. Danny Murphy brought it to my attention about asking players as to who, what, when and why. There's an element of you engage your senior players, but there's also an element of leaders lead. I don't think Michael Carrick is going to do anything different in terms of style of play than Solskjaer. I think he might just have a different voice for 5 minutes. And he might have a different impression. These players will be embarrassed by the furore that's going on in the media. And when I listen to people like Harry Maguire, they talk without any consequence. Great. The consequence is we all know we've got to do better, but you bleeding well didn't. Right? And you didn't do a bit better because you've chosen not to. And when you talk about, what people expect from you is to be what you're supposed to be. What you're supposed to be is elite footballers. And there should have been enough about Man United in recent weeks that didn't even require Solskjaer to have been able to put up what you saw on Saturday, not just because it's Manchester United, but because of the size and scale of the players that purport to be at the top of their game and complete and utter dereliction of duty. Put aside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and look at those players individually. Look at Fernandes, look at Matic, look at Lindelof, look at the goalkeeper. I know he saved the penalty, but look at him at key moments in the game. Look at Maguire, and look at the backdrop, and then look at the reality of what Man United has become, and say, well, I put it past them to leave Carrick in for a period of time because the only ideas they appear to have are other people's. And if the only idea you ever start with is someone else's, then you're going to be in bloody trouble at some point because you're going to need to have some innovation yourself.
So is Carrick under addition for the next few games? Is he a genuine contender to be this interim boss?
Not if you want a proper solution. If you want a proper... with due respect to Michael Carrick, I'm sure he's a lovely man and a decent football person, whatever a football person is, right? But the bottom line is that the whole of that staff have been complicit in producing a group of players that somehow believe that they have a choice how they turn out for Manchester United. Once upon a time, I learned something very quickly when I came into football, was that the only team that didn't appear to pay win bonuses was Manchester United, because Manchester United players were expected to win, so they didn't get paid win bonuses. That culture seems to have gone.
Yeah.
That culture seems to be, we'll do it when we feel like it, or we'll turn it on. And when you hear people like Alan Shearer quite happily on Match of the Day saying, this is what you get with footballers. Footballers, when they down tools, they down tools. How dare they? No one gets to down tools in any other walk of life, least of all people that are getting paid £10 million a year. And it's not all about money, but you can't have all the rewards and trappings of the greatest sport in the world, and then when you don't feel like it, you throw your manager under the bus, you throw your owners under the bus, you throw your fans under the bus. It needs to be called out for what it is.
Yes.
And they'll perform tonight. Dollars for donuts, they'll perform tonight, because cheats can perform in individual basis.
Cheats.
Jim, they've cheated their management, they've cheated themselves, and they've cheated their football club. If you're losing games like that to Watford, and Watford are not mugs, they're a Premier League football team right now, but notwithstanding it, they are cheating the narrative of being elite footballers, and it needs to be called out for what it is. And people in football hate that terminology because it's an outrage, but it happens to be bloody true, and that's why they don't like it. I think it's cheating. I think it's cheating the owners of the football club, and some people would say they bloody deserve to be cheated because all they care about is a share price. But it cheats the fans. And the fans are the lifeblood of a football club, and they deserve better from those players than that old tosh of Fernandes going behind his manager and saying, look at us, we are looking at you. You're not bloody good enough, and you should be told.
Well, cheats or not, they're going against Villarreal tonight. It's live on talkSPORT 2. The early evening kickoff, remember.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.